There's nothing wrong with you, honey. There's something wrong with men, okay? Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, please do make sure to hit the subscribe button before you leave. And if you are a returning subscriber, what's good? What's up? Welcome back and thank you so much for joining me once again. So in today's video, as you guys can see by the title, we are talking about how to be happy and single. Yes, ladies, yes, gents, it is possible. I am living breathing proof. I have 21 years of experience. So without further ado, let's get straight first things first, when it comes to being happy and single, first of all, we need to check our beliefs. Like, we really need to rewrite the narrative that it's impossible to be single and happy, or that you can only be happy with a partner, or that being single is a negative thing or it's a bad thing. Like, I don't even know why that is the narrative. I don't even know why I even have to make videos like how to be happy and single, because people think that it's impossible or that you can't be happy and single. So we just need to rewrite the narrative that being single is a bad thing, or that being single is not cool, or it's not whatever. Like, it's actually not a negative thing at all. And also, if you think about it, things don't have meaning until you give them meaning, because being single is neither a good thing or a bad thing. It really depends on how you see it. It depends on how you perceive it. So if you see it as a negative thing, then it's going to be a bad thing for you. However, if you see it as a good thing, as a positive thing, then it's going to be a positive thing for you, because being single is neither good or bad. Like I mentioned, like, it's just being single, and then you can decide what that means for you. And of course, I'm hoping that you decide that it's a good thing, and that way you'll be much happier if you get rid of the belief that you can't be single and happy. Because one thing about your brain, it will prove you right. So if you believe that being single is a bad thing, your brain will find ways to prove you right. So just change the story, rewrite the narrative, and make it a better story. Like, just tell a better story about being single. The next thing is to not internalize being single. Do not take it personally, because it is not personal. Being single is not a reflection on you, on your looks, on your personality, on anything. Sometimes you're just single because of circumstantial factors. Sometimes it's because of factors outside of your control. For example, for me, like, I'm definitely a homebody. So where do I think I'm gonna meet Mr. Right? Is he gonna come knocking on my door? No. So it's just things like that. Like, maybe you don't go out enough, maybe you don't put yourself out there enough, maybe you're not open to a relationship, maybe there just aren't enough good men where you live. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with you, honey. There's something wrong with men, okay? I'm joking, but honestly, yes, do not internalize being single. Don't take it personally, because it actually has nothing to do with you. And sometimes when we internalize being single, that can end up making us have insecurities that we never had before. Now we're thinking, oh, maybe I'm not pretty enough, maybe I'm not funny enough, maybe I'm not cute enough, or whatever, when in reality, it actually has nothing to do with you. So don't internalize it, and don't use it as a weapon to damage your self-esteem, because once you do that, then you won't be able to be happy single, because you will see being single as a negative thing, first of all, and you'll also see it as the reason why you feel this and this way about yourself. So rather, just don't internalize it, just see it for what it is. It's actually just a circumstance. Like, it's circumstantial, and it has absolutely nothing to do with you. The next thing is not to dwell on your singleness too much. Like, don't think about it too much. Okay, that's why I'm not a singer, but anyways, don't dwell on your singleness too much, because what you resist persists. So just accept your situation for what it is. Like, okay, I'm single, that's cool, that's fine, but don't think about it too much. Don't lose sleep over it. Just don't, because the more that you look at something, the more attention you give it, the more focus you give it, the easier it becomes to find problems where there are no problems. It's like the same thing where, you know, when you take a selfie and you look at it the first time, you're like, oh my gosh, this picture is so cute, I'm gonna post it everywhere. And then the longer that you stare at it, and you stare at it, and you stare at it, and you're just like, no, man, this picture is actually not as cute as I thought. And now all of a sudden you're like, oh no, my smile looks weird. Oh no, that pimple is showing. Oh no, this and that. Because you looked at it for too long, now you're starting to find problems where there were no problems initially. And that's the same thing with your singleness. Like, don't dwell on it too much. Don't keep looking at it. Don't keep thinking about it, because now it's just going to be marinating in your mind. And then now you're trying to find problems where there were no problems. So just leave it be. You're single. That's okay. That's fine. Let's keep it moving. Like, let's not think about it too much. Okay. The next thing is to embrace the season and realize that it is a season. It will eventually come to an end. Being single is seasonal, guys. It's just as seasonal as those toxic friends of yours. It will come to pass. It will come to an end. So just embrace the season and realize that this is the time for you to just enjoy yourself. Like, enjoy being single, because eventually you will get into a relationship and you don't want to find yourself resenting your partner for the things that you should have enjoyed when you were single. So, just enjoy making decisions for yourself, just thinking about yourself, not having to consider anybody's feelings, not having to consider anybody else's thoughts on your decisions, just living for yourself, you know what I mean? So really just enjoy it, because you don't want to find yourself in a relationship trying to be single. The next thing is to use this season to better yourself and to get to know yourself better. Being single is a very important season. Like, this is the season where you can really get to understand yourself, you can really get to know yourself, and also work on yourself, guys. Like, we're actually not perfect. We're all flawed. We have imperfections. We have things that, could harm a relationship. And this is the time to work on those things. Like, if you're not good at communicating, work on that. If you're selfish, work on that. If you're inconsiderate, like all those things that could be harmful to a relationship, those flaws that you have, this is the time to work on them, so that when you do get into a relationship, you can bring the best version of yourself to a relationship, and hopefully your partner is also bringing their best versions, and you guys can be your best versions together. You know what I mean? So this is the time to really get to know yourself, to better yourself, and also just to know what you're looking for in a partner, to really get clear about what you want, your standards, how you expect to be treated, and all of that good stuff. The next thing, which also kind of relates to the first one about changing the narrative around being single, is to acknowledge the love around you. Like, we really need to get rid of this idea that if you don't have romantic love, or you don't have a partner, then you're not loved, or you're not lovable, or whatever the case is. Like, there is so much love around you, and we really just need to acknowledge it and embrace it. Because your friends love you, your family loves you, maybe your colleagues at work love you, I don't know, but you have so much love around you, and this is the time to really acknowledge it and embrace it. Also, if you've been in a relationship before and you're now single, don't fall into the trap of thinking that the person that you were once with is the only person who's able to love you, or the only person who was gonna love you, or whatever the case is. Because if you think about it, that person was once a stranger, and then they loved you, and you know what, you can find another stranger to love you again. Like, it's really not the end of the world. And also, even if you've never been in a relationship before, like, there are 7 billion people on this planet, surely one of them will love you. Like, surely. So just, don't fall into the trap of being single and thinking that, you know what, I'm single now, so I'm gonna be single the rest of my life. Like, nobody loves me, he. Like, change that narrative and stop replaying those negative thoughts in your mind, because there's so much love around you. And if you just stop, take a look around, and acknowledge it, you'll feel so much more happy and so much more loved. And then for all my girlies, or for all my gents who feel like, you know what, I've got so much love to give, but nobody to give it to, take this time to channel that love that you have into other things, whether those are your hobbies, your interests, your passions. Like, honestly, just live your best life. But even if it is people, just think to yourself, I have all this love to give. I can't give it to a man, I can't give it to a woman. Not that you can't, but right now you're not giving it to a man, you're not giving it to a woman. You can think to yourself, where can I channel this love into? How can I be a better friend? How can I be a better sibling? How can I be a better daughter? How can I be a better parent? Whatever your situation is, you can still take all this love that you have to give and find a way to channel it into other things. My next piece of advice is about self-love and giving yourself the love you deserve. Like, honestly, I think that this is the time that you should be spoiling yourself, yourself, gifting yourself, buying yourself flowers, emptying out your cards, all the things that you want from a partner, you should be doing for yourself already, so that you don't feel like you need a partner to fill a void or to complete something that's incomplete or whatever the case is. Like, just be your own partner, be your own babe. Treat yourself the way that you want to be treated, so that you're not unhappy thinking, ugh, if only I had a partner, then maybe they would buy me flowers. Oh, if only I had a partner, maybe I'd have someone to empty out my carts. Oh, if only I had a partner, this or that. Like, you have yourself. So be that person for yourself. Because let me tell you something, actually. Plot twist. You will get a partner, you'll get into a relationship, and you still won't be receiving those flowers, and you still won't have your carts emptied, and you still won't be spoiled. So what exactly are you waiting for? Treat yourself the way that you want to be treated. Self-love, baby. This is also very, very important, so that you can enter a relationship because you have a connection with someone, and you're not entering a relationship because you want someone to do things for you that you can't do for yourself. So you need to be entering a relationship for the right reasons and with the right intentions. And it's also important so that if you're unhappy in that relationship, you could also leave, because it's not as if this person is doing things for you that you couldn't do for yourself, and now you feel stuck, because if you leave, then who's going to do these things for you? Am I making sense? And then my last piece of advice is to avoid triggers and set boundaries. So let's all be honest here. When you're single, there are definitely going to be those moments where you're just like, oh, I really wish I had a partner. Like, you're gonna have those days, but allow them to be days, allow them to be moments, allow them to be passing. Don't spend too much time on it. But yes, we will have those days where we're just like, oh my gosh, I just wish I had someone to do this and that. When you see that little drop of rain and you're just like, oh my gosh, I wish I had someone to Netflix and chill with. Those days are going to happen, but it's important for you to avoid triggers. Like, if you know what triggers you to feel sad about your singleness or to feel sad about your situation, avoid those things at all costs. If that is social media, which it usually is, don't be following 5 million couple channels and expect not to be triggered. Don't be constantly engaging with that type of content and expect not to be triggered. Like, why are you hurting yourself? However, if you're the type of person who's not affected by those things, then that's definitely fine. But just figure out what your triggers are that make you feel sad about your situation, and try by all means to avoid it. And when it comes to setting boundaries, this is like with friends or family, it's also very important, because your family or your friends or whoever, people are constantly asking about your love life. Like, people will ask you, oh my gosh, where's your boyfriend? When are you getting a boyfriend? You still haven't met anyone? Are you going on dates? How's your love life? Blah, 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 blah. If those things trigger you, then, just sit your friends down, your family, whoever, and just be like, you know what, guys, in this season that I'm in, please don't ask me about my love life. If something changes, if something happens, I'll let you know. But as long as I haven't said anything, that means nothing has happened. So stop asking me. Okay. But yeah, just sit people down and let them know that please don't over ask me about this thing. You could also set boundaries, maybe if you have a friend who's in a relationship who's constantly updating you about her relationship. Oh my gosh, babe just bought me this. Oh my gosh, babe and I are going on vacation. Oh my gosh, babe and I are this and this and that. And you know what? That's definitely not a problem, because as friends, we do share our lives. We want to let our friends in on our lives. But if you feel triggered by things like that, then you need to have a conversation with your friend and say, you know what, friend, as much as I want to be a part of your life, I want to know about this in your life. Can we maybe just tone it down a bit? Can we not talk about it every day? Can we just talk about it maybe some days? But you actually have to let people know how something they're doing makes you feel, so that you can protect yourself and you can protect your peace. Because if you don't set those boundaries, then people are going to continuously keep doing that, and they're going to be triggering you without even knowing it. So it's very important to set your boundaries, and it's very important. And that's all the advice that I have to give you guys today. I really, really hope that it was single. It was single. I really, really hope that it was helpful. Please let me know in the comments down below if there's anything in particular that you're going to take away from this video. Let me know about your love life. See, look, here I am triggering you again. Let me know about your love life if you're comfortable to in the comments. Are you in a relationship? Are you single? How long have you been single? How long have you been in a relationship? Let's engage in the comments. I really, really love chatting to you guys. And yeah, that brings us to the end of our video. I hope that you guys had a wonderful Valentine's Day, single or not. Let's all remember that it is very much possible to be happy and single, and also you'd rather be happy and single than unhappy in a relationship just to say you have a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, anyways, let me go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, especially subscribe. Share this video with anyone else you think would enjoy it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.